Don't forget the Teen Titans show. Or the Titans show, or whatever they want to call it.
Is that live action? Yeah, that is coming out, isn't it?
Yeah. They showed a screenshot of Dick Grayson in his Robin costume.
Interesting. I hope it's good and not like Birds of Prey.
You liked Birds of Prey, though.
Well, for obvious reasons.
Well, hold on. I guess we should start this before we start, because I'm going to chirp him hard for probably about 10 minutes. So what is this? Is this...
What is this?
I think it's Geek Pants.
This is Snake. Can you hear me? Good. The mission is simple. Put your geek pants on and infiltrate Foxhound. If you need backup, contact Ken and Chris on their codec frequency. Ready? Snake out.
Geek Pants Camcast. Yeah. I'll try not to sing very often, but it's going to happen.
You just keep that going.
Oh, that was terrible.
No.
That's terrible.
I love the polo shirt, by the way.
Yeah, I figured I would do something a little bit.
So was this number 4?
I think we're on 4 or... Yeah, it's got to be 4, because this is our 4th.
This is number 4.
This is number 4, so this is the 4th Superman shirt.
This is the 4th Superman shirt.
Yeah.
And it's kind of perfect that you wore a Superman shirt. Because it's DC Day!
Or the... Talking about the DCEU.
The DC Extended Universe.
Which is still stupid every time I say it.
Well, apparently it was like a critic or something that called it that for the first time, and it just stuck.
Really?
It wasn't even warning
like, you couldn't even just say it's the cinematic universe? Or just say it's DCEU?
That's just too Marvel. Cinematic universe. It's the extended universe.
Too Marvel, Justice League. That's my counter argument there. Is it too Marvel? I don't know.
I don't know.
Justice League.
I mean, they needed Whedon in it.
Yeah. Hold on. Only 15 to 20% was reshot for Whedon.
I don't care. That 15 to 20 is
I watched the movie. It's a hell of a lot longer, more than 15-20%.
Way
I think
more.
It's 15-20% they kept from Snyder, and that's it.
But we'll get deep into that movie.
We will.
Because we haven't even talked about Justice League yet.
No, we haven't. This will be the first time we've talked about it. Not even like, I think it was occasional back and forth on the texting.
A little bit text here. Yeah, but it wasn't like anything big. Like, oh, you know what? It was pretty entertaining, and Superman, even though his lip looked retarded, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I mean, handicapped.
So the DCEU started like kind of like ass backwards because they did Man of Steel, and then they're like, oh wait, hold on, that's the first of the new universe. Yeah. So that was interesting.
I mean, they tried to kick it off first with Catwoman.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they tried to do that.
No.
And then it was Green Lantern. They tried it, but first it was Catwoman, and that was.
Yeah, but that was so bad. I mean,
but now when you say that, now you look at Green Lantern, you're like, it's not that bad.
No, Green Lantern's amazing compared to Catwoman. Catwoman makes Jonah Hex look good. That was a bad movie.
That was really bad.
Really bad. Who would have thought that Josh Brolin would go on to become Cable and Thanos after that?
I never would have guessed.
Nope.
But then again, I also never would have guessed that of all the movies that he would have signed on to be a superhero, it was Jonah Hex. Yeah. And that DC was like, you know what? Let's take a dead property that's been dead for a very long time, and let's make a movie out of it.
Jonah Hex. Yeah.
Because even as a crazy comic book fan, like I was like, I'm familiar with the character. I don't want to see that movie in the theater.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, familiar with the characters. I didn't want to see it in the theater until I saw the trailer. And Jonah Hex did nothing.
Jonah Hex trailer was like, ugh. And then the movie, cringeworthy.
Who else was in it? It was Josh Brolin, Megan Fox. Who was the bad guy? Was it actually what's his face?
It was a big name. I don't know. For the most part, I erased it from my mind.
He was in The Line of Fire. John Malkovich. Was it John Malkovich?
I think, Malkovich was it. That was kind of like where his career started to go Nicolas Cage style. Oh, Nicolas Cage reference.
Oh, my God. I was actually going to try a new thing to maybe see if he'll pop up. Okay, because we actually just said Nicolas Cage. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this one. Check this out. Hashtag Nicolas Cage.
Oh. Nothing?
Fuck.
Anything? Hashtag nice pants, Nick.
Ooh.
Huh?
Ooh. Put the bunny down. We'll pop him in a post. Don't even worry about it, guys.
It's got to be in the Superman suit, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Ooh,
God. That's such a heinous suit.
It looks so gross.
It's not even just his hair. Like, his hair is pretty rough in it.
Yeah, it's like long and slick.
But the suit is so bad. Like, I'll give him credit for getting jacked for that role.
Yeah.
But the suit is just... Ugh.
Yeah,
anyway,
gross.
So Man of Steel. That's a
yeah,
segue,
we'll kick it
right?
off with that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a segue. So Man of Steel.
I mean, Henry's all right, but he's no Nick. I was waiting until you were drinking before I said that. Sorry. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
A little up the nose there?
No.
You're all right? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, Man of Steel.
Yeah. I'm wearing the shirt. I'm wearing the watch again, like always. So I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
Oh, Man of Steel was amazing. But it's grown on me over time. Again, it's another one of those grows on me over time.
Yeah.
So when I watched it in the theater, it was too much action and too dark. Like I still kind of feel like the perfect Superman lies in between Superman Returns and Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, exactly.
It's in there.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Right in between.
We talked about that one plenty of times. This is just new for you.
And honestly,
guys.
after Justice League, if he gets his own movie again, I think we're gonna get that.
I don't see why they don't.
We're gonna get the in between.
Just do it, get it over with.
Yeah.
And that's that.
Yeah.
But okay, so I mean, story wise,
is great.
Yeah.
Like I loved how it started on Krypton. Russell Crowe was awesome. Like that whole opening sequence is killer.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking love it. And then, but then we go to Earth and they do the weird flashback thing, and that kind of threw me off at first. Like I thought it was going to show him growing up and everything, and not. Like where's it kick off? He's on the ship, right, with all those guys.
It immediately goes. We don't even see the impact of the ship. It just goes straight to. You just see
bits and pieces like
Yeah.
cut in over time. And then you get the great performance by Diane Lane and Kevin Costner.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Like, I love Kevin Costner.
What did you think about the scene where young Clark saves the kids in the bus?
Loved it.
And Pa Kent is just like Clark goes, should I have let them die? And he's just like, maybe. Like, what do you think about that? Because a lot of people were like, ugh.
Yeah.
What?
I don't, I was a little, like, wow that they did that, but I don't mind it. And the more I watch it, I mind it less every time.
Well, for me, because it's like he says baby, then he goes like, but I don't know, And his whole thing is just like he's a dad whose son is special and does not want his son to be taken away from him. Mm-hmm. So like he's looking at it from that perspective. And,
exactly.
Like Clark can't see it.
It might be a little selfish, but it's a father.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
my
Clark
kid
can't
first.
See from that perspective because Clark just wants to. He's told by his parents, and that's one thing I'll interject really quickly, and then I'll let you get back to things. Mm-hmm. I wish that they would have parts where his parents are saying, like, hey, look, you've got these gifts, use them for good. Yeah. Like, he says, like, Pa says, you just have to decide what kind of man you're going to be, good or bad, because you're going to change the world, right?
Right.
Okay, but break it down. Have him say, look,
yeah.
Just do the right thing. We always want you to do the right thing. So then at least there's that conflict now where he's like, but this feels right, and his dad's saying, well, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. You gotta think about these things. We don't want you taken away. And of course, like that leads into them finding out he's
very interesting because we never actually seen those kind of conversations on film before between the two of them.
Right. And I mean, like that's one of those things where I would say like Snyder gets a lot of flack for. Yeah. But he took Man of Steel to places that we almost never talk about, ever. And for a large part of it is what, like I said, like even for me later on, like when I'm watching it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know what? This actually, like, this is really good. Like, it doesn't get the credit it should. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so go on. So story-wise,
so story-wise,
anything about the story that you maybe didn't like?
The whole Lois in the Antarctic and stuff, that whole thing felt a little weird to me, like how she discovers Superman and everything.
Okay.
I don't know, it's still strange to me. It just feels like really out of place for some reason. I don't know why. It's just...
Well, I mean, she's just investigating the fact that they found a ship in the ice. That's
Right.
it.
But she's the only reporter from the world there at that time.
She's the only one with
Metropolis
the scoop.
isn't remotely close to this.
She's the only one with the scoop, bro.
Oh, okay. Okay, so she's there. She's there. He's there. I don't know. That scene still feels a little weird to me.
All right.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I mean, Michael Shannon's amazing in it.
Yeah.
As Zod, and funny enough, 4 movies in. Wait, right? 4 in DCU. 5.
Because it's Man of Steel, it's Batman v Superman,
Right.
it's Suicide Squad, it's
Squad.
Wonder Woman,
Yes.
and it's Justice League.
Okay, so 5 movies, and Zod is the only non-CGI villain the movies have had.
Technically.
I mean,
He's not 100% CGI, but a lot of those fight scenes, of course, is CGI.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. But him himself is a real human.
Right. That's right. He's not
He's
Doom
not
Zod, and he's not Steppenwolf, and he's not Ares.
and-
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? Like,
So I mean, I think that gives a lot more life to this film than the films that follow it. You know, I'll just throw this out there quick. Wonder Woman's my favorite movie in the whole, all 5 of them. But I do think Zod is probably my favorite villain out of all 5.
yeah, I would have to say I would agree. I would
Yeah.
agree. I'm such a Superman guy that it's really hard for me to admit that Wonder Woman's probably my favorite. But yeah, I'd have to say like it is. But you know.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. But yeah,
So story-wise, you think it's fine? The lowest stuff is kind of the only real thing that is glaring for you.
just that scene.
Just that scene.
I love the 2 of them
Okay.
there. They got amazing chemistry,
Yeah.
like really good chemistry.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
You know, Lawrence Fishburne is great in it.
I love that everyone was like, "How dare Perry White be black?"
Yeah, like get over
And I was
it.
like, "Fuck right off! It's Lawrence Fishburne." Like,
Yeah.
really,
yeah, like
you know. And I
And
never
he's so good.
felt like it was one of those things where they're like, you know what, we should make him black just because. I just felt like they were like, he would be really good for this role.
Yep.
You know, and it's not like he does a lot in any of these movies, but he's in it just enough, and you go, oh, okay.
he's so like assertive and stuff in his roles, right? Like he's a leader, and,
Yeah.
and he was perfect for that role.
Like, I mean, even just watching him in Hannibal, I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this guy's so good. You know.
Yep.
Okay. What else? Anything else that you want to say on Man of Steel? Anything else?
You know what? Kick your stuff off. If things come to mind, we'll go over them. But okay. Oh well, I guess
What
the
am I
end.
mumbling there?
Oh, I was talking to myself.
Because you're like, kick yourself off, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Oh, that's a new term. Instead of jack off, it's kick off.
That's never gonna work.
No, it's not gonna work at
No.
all. No,
Not even the great and powerful Nicolas Cage will make that work. He won't make it happen. It's like fetch.
Nick Cage can make anything happen. He's Nick Cage.
True, there was
Hashtag-
2 Ghost Rider
hashtag-
movies.
Get Nick Cage on Camcast.
Yeah,
I will-
Geek Pants. Hey, Nick Cage, you
Nick
should wear
Cage.
Geek Pants.
I mean, I'll fly you to Thunder Bay, dude. You don't even have to pay.
It'll probably be like the craziest fucking weekend
We
ever
both
if
have
that ever
houses
happened.
now. You can stay in our basements.
But strictly in our basements, though. You can't stay anywhere else.
I mean, Nick Cage is in the Batcave. You can say that in a sentence.
I could say that.
That sounds good, doesn't
I
it?
don't know if I want to say Nick Cage is in the Batcave. Anyway.
At the end of the film, I guess, the mass destruction of Smallville and Metropolis. Still a little jarring.
Yeah.
But I kind of think back, this is a young Superman who hasn't fought anyone at his
Do
level
you think
before.
it deserves the 63% it has on Rotten Tomatoes? It's like somewhere around there, 60, 63%, something like that.
I think it deserves higher. And I think it deserves higher because everything Marvel totally out of arm's reach.
Marvel.
Everything
it's
Marvel has-
70% at least.
It's like 85 and up, pretty
What
much.
was Doctor Strange?
Oh, that was like 80 something, wasn't it?
Wasn't even-
I don't
Wasn't
think they
that
have.
good.
I don't think they have anything in the Senate. Not even Iron Man 2 is that low. So like,
I would say
I
like
don't know.
a large part of it, like you're good. You've got everything out.
I got it all up.
Okay, a large part of it is Zack Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
He
People
just
just
gets a
don't like
lot
him.
of flack because like Sucker Punch
Shit on. Watchmen. Shit on.
and Watchmen was really good.
I think 300 is his only movie that actually got a decent review.
I loved 300. I thought that was awesome, like absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Watchmen I thought was really good, really good. My only complaint was there was too many of the slow-mo fights. Every fight was a slow-mo fight.
I actually just rebought Watchmen because I want to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I want to watch it in HD. But I've only seen it once in the theater.
I watched it a couple of times.
But I was also not a big Watchmen fan. Remember?
Yeah, and that's the difference too.
And yes, I'm sorry, Watchmen's overrated as a comic book. Alan Moore is just a prick.
I'll see you that. I'll see you that, and I will raise you. Dark Knight Returns, nowhere near as good after you've read it the first time when you're 10 years old.
Boom! There you go. The top 2 stories of all time, overrated.
You.
Yeah. You nailed it.
I went
You
in there
nailed
and it was like, I was like,
you lead right into that shit.
I was right in the camera.
Yeah, I gotta zoom in on that. I'm gonna cut
Dark
that.
Knight Rises or Dark Knight Returns was good the first time around, but after that, I don't know. Maybe it's just Frank Miller. The only thing I consistently liked about Frank Miller was the rebooted origin for Daredevil, The Man Without Fear, that 4-part miniseries.
Right? Yeah, that is a great.
So good, so good. I guess I don't know. Maybe I
love his Daredevil period.
I'd have to say his Daredevil was probably the best. I just don't like how he's always like Batman is the Ubermensch. He's the Superman, and then Superman is like easily beaten by Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's ridiculous. And then to make Superman like a government stooge, like all these things that when you reread it, like I read it because it was like everyone has to read this book.
Mm-hmm.
I read it and I was like, wow, this is really good. Rereading it, I'm like, this is actually not that good at all. But anyway, so that's a 1-2 punch. He didn't like Watchmen. I did. I didn't like Dark Knight Returns. Did you?
Nope.
Okay, here we go.
No, I can straight up tell you what kind of comics I like, and it's definitely not those 2 overrated ones.
You want to take this outside?
Okay. This right here, add Red Sun on after that, and you got one of the best comics I've ever read.
Red Sun was amazing. Red Sun was absolutely amazing.
That, not overrated. That is something people that should definitely read. That is underrated.
That is actually underrated, and it was really praised when it came out, so for it to be underrated is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so...
Yeah, your thoughts on Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. I'm with you when I first watched it in the theater, because I was here. I was so hopeful. And those trailers that we got, where they're showing them like coming out of the ship, and they're doing the Grant Morrison quotes, and it's like they will race behind you, and they will stumble, and they will fall, and you're like, yes, this is going to be great. And for the most part, that movie is pretty much perfect right up until he puts the suit on and he does that flying around scene.
Right.
Okay. The only minor gripe that I have up to that point was the scene where Clark destroys the trucker's truck. Like just.
Right. Okay.
Like, it's a funny scene. They play it for laughs, but it's still just like, like this is a guy that even as a kid was willing to risk people knowing what he can do to save a bus full of kids, but he's gonna like totally tree fuck that guy's truck just because he threw beer in his face and stuff like that. That was the only kind of part that up until that point I was just like, I don't know. But like I said, I liked the fact that they really made it seem like this is a guy that would be an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a guy that would have tons of friends and he wouldn't be high-fiving people because, first of all, he's known since he was a young kid that he's an alien.
Yep.
He always knew he was different. He always knew he had to hide these differences. Then he finds out he's an alien, and now he's got to try to live in a world where all he wants to do is use these abilities to help people. But the second he does, it changes the way that people look at him, So they really give you that isolation feel that you never ever got in any other movie.
Mm-hmm. It
was usually just kind of like, hey, high five, I'm Superman. And everyone's just like, wait, Clark, you're Superman? That's amazing. Not one person is freaked out by him being an alien.
Yeah.
So it's really realistic in that sense. And then even just the military, where they're just like, the one guy is just like talking about viruses and stuff that may or may not have since he's been around the Earth, that may not be there, and he's just like, well, I've been here for 33 years, and then one guy just shoots him like that you know of, like you don't know anything, so they're taking these precautions. I was like, that's really realistic, and as crazy as it is, but that shot where the military's around him and he's in cuffs, I'm like, that's crazy cool, and it's all these different takes. The two main things, like overall, the story, absolutely love it. The few things that I would change, that I feel would make it better, is no matter how many times I've rewatched this movie, and I will continue to rewatch it until they're literally beaming it straight into my head.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where Pocket dies in the tornado, visually cool, stupid. I don't like that he does that big huge show. Like, he feels so strongly about Clark hiding his gifts that he's willing to die as opposed to have him like super speed save him, right? I didn't like that scene. Not so much that he died, but why he died. Because particularly, almost every other time that Pa Kent dies, that's a life lesson for Clark Kent. Because whether he dies because Clark Kent is over there, and he dies because he's over here, so he can't be in two places at once, it's like, it's at that point where he feels like he can do everything, then Pa Kent dies, and he realizes, I can't do everything. There's some things I can't do. And that's that life lesson. So that's where he kind of goes, okay, I'm going to try and save everyone as much as I can, but I know that I can't save everybody. It's a little bit darker, but I think it works better than, hey, no, don't save me.
Yeah.
Even though you were born and raised in Smallville, and most of these people know you can do stuff that no one else can do, don't save me, because nobody must know. And then dies, right? So that part was one of those where I would switch that in a heartbeat. You mentioned Lois, and I thought this is funny that you're right in the beginning, and you're like, kind of gripey. My gripe is later on, why is she on the fucking giant plane when they're going to use his ship as the bomb for the Phantom Zone?
Right.
Why is she there? She doesn't need to be there. I know she's there so she falls out of the plane so Superman saves her, because it visually looks amazing. Time. But nobody in their right mind goes, look, even if they mention that her dad's, or though they mention at the beginning, like, because she was all her dad or whatever, but it's like, even then, like, not one person's going to be like, you're just a reporter. I don't care if your dad's General Lane and it's the highest of the high-ups in the military. Just a fucking reporter. Okay, get off this plane.
That's funny, too, because when you talk about, like, why is she there? That reminds me of the end of the film where, Superman does it, right? She just pops up where he is. Like, this is Metropolis, the biggest fucking city in the U.S., and it's just like, hey, here I am. It's like, how the frick did you get there?
Not even out of breath, not even sweating, like she spent the last 10 minutes running her face off. Like, no, just strolls down like, oh.
I tell you right now, I've been to New York. It takes a lot more than 2 minutes to get across the city.
I like that you went into the Bronx at 2 minutes, eh?
2 minutes, eh? Come on.
I was like, but that's, and I felt the same. And I was going to mention that too. That was the other part. Because it's just those two parts where I'm like, you have no business being on this plane. Yeah. And second of all, how the fuck do you get over there?
Yeah.
Do you have superpowers, Lois? Do you?
She's buddies with the Flash. They're going to write that in later.
Yeah.
They've known each other for a long time.
That's right.
You got her over there.
Like, it's just like, that part I remember just being like, I'm glad she's there. Don't get me wrong.
She needs to be there at that moment.
But it was one of those where I was just kind of like, And so the other thing was that I would switch. Two things, actually. Was, again, like the Smallville battle, and I'll probably, for the 20 years that we do this, I'll always reference the Smallville battle being the worst of the bunch. Because he lives there. Mm-hmm. This is where he was born and raised. This is his friends and family. You know what I mean? Like, there's no attempt of him trying to get them away from Smallville. Yeah. It's literally just Main Street, Smallville, and they like tear it up.
All they have is a Sears and an IHOP.
Yes.
Destroyed.
Yes. Oh, good name drop.
Yeah.
Sears, rest in peace.
Oh man, I'll tell you later.
But like, there's no attempts. Like, granted, the military also does a good job of chewing up that place too. Yeah. Okay, and they're just as much to blame as being no redirect. Like, and I'll accept all day long that Superman's like, he's not even really Superman. He's just Clark Kent, who just found out he's Kal-El, who's got this cool suit. Okay, and just started to fly. So he's not really Superman, which is why I'm glad they called it Man of Steel. But you'd think that even though he's fighting guys that are slowly getting as strong as him and they have all that training, he'd still be trying to get them away from anybody else, So that's one thing that I would change. I would at least show him trying to, take the fight away from them, right? And then the final thing that I would change is instead of having Superman do that whole almost die fighting the world engine in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, you didn't like that.
It is an amazing scene. Yeah. And it's awesome when he's finally just like, you know what? No, I'm going to fucking punch through this thing. and like takes it, goes through it, but do it in Metropolis. Do it where everybody can see you, like the 20 or 30 people that are still in Metropolis, but that's where the world cameras are, you know what I mean? Like have it so that at least now a larger part of the world goes, he almost died to save us.
Wasn't that guy in the boat fishing that watched it though?
That one guy.
That one guy.
But I don't think I didn't see an
witness.
iPhone. I didn't see an iPhone, so it's not like he Snapchatted.
He'll draw a cartoon later.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you. It was a little. Yeah. Why would you fly around the world to that one?
Yeah. Why not go straight to Metropolis? Do it there.
Take that one out.
You know, like I mean, even if they would have said there's nobody in the Indian Ocean, so nobody will die. You know, realistically, there should be nobody in Metropolis because I don't know about you, but if an alien ship shows up in my city, I'm not hanging out until Perry White says we should probably leave the Daily Planet because we might die.
I'll be like that girl in Independence Day holding up the sign, welcome.
Yeah. Here's me, aliens. Second I see aliens in the sky, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't care how friendly they are.
Okay? I'm not even going to wait to find out.
Or in this case, how great their goatees are.
I am out, okay? And then if somebody says, hey, Chris, those aliens are cool, I'll come back.
Yeah.
Okay? But if I don't hear that, I'm out. I'm already out, and you suckers didn't want to move, that's your problem. That's on you. Okay? But yeah, so overall, I would say, like, the way the movie is, the way it's presented, everyone does a great job acting in this, okay? I know a lot of people were like, Cavill had a short stick on this, but I've seen him in other movies. So for him to, like, what was it? That spy movie.
Oh,
yeah, that one.
Man something, man.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
There it is.
Okay, largely a bad spy movie, but the two main guys are really good. Cavill is super charismatic and charming and all this stuff. So to see him to do that, and then also be like, I know they were like mopey Superman, but like, he spent 33 years of his life basically being told, hide everything. No one's ever going to accept you like we did, or your parents would love you. But also, if you ever have a chance to do this, you know, to help people, just don't get caught. And then finally he's doing it, you know.
Yeah.
And the first time he actually starts doing it, he's got to save the world from his own kind. And he essentially makes it so that he's the last of his kind.
Yeah, I know.
You know, he phantom zones a large chunk of them and kills Zod, right? So he's basically sat there and said, I'm an Earthman now. That's it. There's no going back for me. Right?
Yep.
I think that's absolutely incredible. And it's, you know, they talk about the hero sacrifice. He did a hero sacrifice, you know? And if you want to talk about Superman killing, well, you could argue that the Phantom Zone, Kryptonians, and Zod, that would be the killing. All the humans in and around Metropolis, well, get out while you had the chance.
Yeah.
You know? And that's that. So, yeah, overall, like, I mean, it is still one of my favorite Superman movies. You mentioned Superman Returns. Like, I agree, there should be more of the aspects where Superman was trying to stop people from getting hurt and stuff like that, which they had in Superman Returns. And yeah, I agree. That perfect movie is right in the middle.
Right in the
middle. Those two. But, I mean, as far as Supermans go, Henry Cavill is one of the best ones already. Like, I mean, no offense to Brandon Routh, but they didn't give him a chance to be his own.
Exactly. Be Christopher Reeve as Superman.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So while he's good in that respect, it was like that was one of the first reboot quills I ever watched without realizing it. You know, because you watch the first two Superman and then you're like, well, this is basically just an updated version of Superman. You know, they do the 5 years because it's still in continuity, but it's all the same shit, right?
Yeah.
So, Cavill's great. You know, they say there's no chemistry between him and Amy Adams. I disagree. I think the chemistry's off the chart. The interrogation scene, where she's like, you know, that's an S, and he's like, yeah, it means hope, and then she's like, well, in my world, it's an S, right? And you get that feeling that, like, they're gonna bang later. You totally get that feeling. Like, you totally buy it. Yeah. I actually bought that more than I did the kiss at the end. You know, especially because the line is like something about kissing aliens, and it gets better the second time or something like that. And I remember just being like, you could have just left the kiss.
But what is it about these movies that have that final line in so it's crappy?
Like,
So
everyone's
now what
playing
do
the
we
last
do?
word is what it is, eh? Like,
So,
the last
I
word.
hate that. So now what do we do? Oh, I hate that in the end of movies.
Yeah.
So now what do we do?
Now what? Well, we do like
Who the fuck
everyone
talks
else.
like that?
Yeah.
Now what?
I kissed my wife after a couple of dates, and I wasn't like, so now what?
Yeah.
I knew what was happening. We were both sick.
Where does our sequel go
We
from
kissed,
here?
and then that was it. And then we dated some more, and stuff happened. But she's my wife, so I can say that.
Yeah. Kissing. Still kissing. Just.
And sexing, I'll say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
that was it.
Listen, she's gonna get mad at me. She'll watch 20 minutes of this and then start cross stitching, or she'll go on Facebook.
She's already
And she'll
just
be
like
there, but she won't really be there. So
not even listening at this point. We're 20 minutes in. We're good.
occasionally when we swear, she'll perk up because she hates it when we swear. That's about it. But yeah, so there it is.
Fuck.
Overall, she's gonna love when I lean in and I'm like, "Fuck you," for liking a comic book that I don't like. But yeah, so overall, like Superman, I would put like. I realize now that Man of Steel is like right up there with Superman 1 and Superman 2 and Man of Steel. Like, they're all kind of neck and neck.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, they did a lot of really cool things and different things. And I think that's part of the reason why when we first watch it, we're like, because it feels different and weird. And it's not like if we would have got Superman Returns again, we would have been mad because it was the same shit. But because we didn't get that, we were kind of like, I don't know how I feel.
You can't please anyone, though. It's like Superman
yeah.
Returns was like, there's not enough action. Man of Steel. There's not enough drama and characterization. It's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't say that with either of them. I enjoy them individually for their own reasons.
I do admit that I was like, man, there's no fight scenes. In
Well,
Superman Returns,
that-
the other thing that bothered me about Superman Returns was he lands on the island of Kryptonite, right? Which is fine.
Mhm.
But then all of a sudden now Lex Luthor is able to kick him across the field, so to speak, and like really lay him out. I mean, sure, he's slowly dying because of the kryptonite, but right at the beginning, he's still Superman.
Mhm.
He still fought guys that were stronger than him and still beat them up.
Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the comic books, this is a guy that was trained to fight by Batman as well as Muhammad Ali. So this guy kicks some ass. It doesn't mean that Lex Luthor is suddenly stronger.
Yeah.
The like dorky businessman genius suddenly can, it's not
Kick
like
guys across the Nile.
it's not like Grant Morrison's Lex Luthor in Superman All-Star Superman, where he's like lifting weights because he wants to be everything that Superman is, just human. Right? They don't have that. If they had that, I'd buy it a bit more. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. I think
That's Man of Steel, so BBS.
BBS. Yeah.
Dawn of Justice.
Yeah. Or was it The Dark Knight? Was one of the rumored parts of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything in that.
That's right. That's right. I'll let you go first again.
Okay, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Best opening sequence I've seen in any movie ever, probably. The sound and the music and seeing everything from that angle, like the Man of Steel ending from that angle, I was just like, I was not expecting this, and it's blowing my fucking mind right now.
Even when they only showed like bits and pieces of it in the trailer, I remember just being like, whoa, this is crazy.
And Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL, the music they put together for Batman vs.
It's a
Superman.
shame that that's the last Hans Zimmer movie. Or Hans Zimmer, like, superhero soundtrack.
Well, apparently Junkie XL did the score for Justice League, and Joss Whedon cut it.
I know. I heard that too.
So, fuck you! Anyways.
So, yeah, Batman
vs. Superman.
That opening is intense.
That opening is
insane. Absolutely intense.
It's just like, it gives me goosebumps every time I'm watching it. It's just like, wow, this is good.
Yeah.
Because then they cut right from that to Batman's parents dying. And it's got that music, though, and the way Snyder shot it with the fucking gun going off and the pearls popping, and just like...
He is an incredible cinematographer.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing that at least he gets recognition for that. Like, that guy can shoot a fucking movie. Like, as much as I didn't like... I'll say this. I agree 100% with the opening sequence. 100%. I loved the take from it. I also loved that that's how they established Bruce Wayne. which I thought was really cool. The one thing I was going to say, as much as I've seen the death scene, his parents getting killed like a bajillion times, when they had this shot where the pearl is
caught around
the hammer, I was like, man, that is awesome. Like, that is really cool. Out of the entire scene, that was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
The music was awesome.
Yeah.
The guy can shoot like crazy.
Like, that's that whole
I just
opening.
don't know if he can direct. Like, I mean, or at least he needs somebody to rein him in. Like, he doesn't need, like, David Goyer.
It's his editing. His editing.
Like, David Goyer is like, yeah, let's do everything.
Yeah.
He needs somebody, like, who will be like, okay, hold on. Let's just tone it down a bit here and, like, focus on some character work here.
But, I mean, at the same time, when I say it's his editing, I don't know, because the longer Ultimate Cut is way better than
And I was going to say
theatrical.
the same thing, too. It's like it's easy to talk about his editing, you know, but, like, after seeing the 3 hour, and that's all I'm going to talk about. I'm literally just going to reference
because the Ultimate Cut's
3 hour
amazing.
Ultimate Cut beat Batman v Superman
because the theatrical, I watched it and I enjoyed it, but I felt like there's a lot of weird holes in this movie.
That's right. There was a lot of stuff that, like, you felt like when it was coming in.
Yeah.
It was coming in and you were just like, wait, I think I missed, like, a couple of scenes here. Something feels off about this or that or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So the 3 hour cut.
Incredible.
I was glad that I bought that and watched that.
Incredible.
So much so that if they re-released it in theaters,
I go watch it
shortly after the theatrical version. They were like, okay, guys, we'll eat millions of dollars just to show you the uncut version.
Mm-hmm.
I would have went, and I probably would have been like, I'm gonna go see that again.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so much better.
Yeah,
so much better, and it's even the same with Suicide Squad. The extended cut is so much better.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm really holding on to hope that we get the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, it doesn't exist. Didn't you hear?
Oh, fuck that. It's out there. But, I mean...
Okay, we'll do the same thing. So, story-wise...
I like this story. I do.
Yep.
It makes sense to me that Batman, like this old hero, who's kind of, like, on the verge of retiring and everything, he would come out if he saw this alien just destroying the city next door. All his friends and all these kids and stuff just dying around him. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't like Batman killing in this. The more I think about it, like, he had Robin and everyone, like, I'm guessing a lot of other people too die that he loved. And now to have this go down, like, fuck. I'd probably be on a little bit of a murdering spree too. As weird, I mean, like, you can imagine, like, 20 years down, all this shit has happened. Like, I don't know.
What it is for me, it's and it's probably going to be, like, the same thing that always happens, is that, like, because you always get, like, Batman, who's constantly, you know, he's always in his mid-30s, and he's always fighting crime. He never, ever kills. Even though we talked about in our Nolan trilogy that, like, he does kill, technically, right? And there was a few, and I was like, I was okay with it. Like, with Rouse, I was okay with it. But after, like, with Bane, I was like, you know what I mean? Whereas this one, but this is flat out. Like, I get where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying, like, you know, like, the state that he's in. But I think it's even just, like, even when he's saying, like, if there's a 1% chance that this guy can go crazy, we have to take that as an absolute certainty. I was like, man, that's fucking crazy. It's so crazy that Alfred's like, yeah, but this guy's not our enemy. Like, something happened, and he's in this state where even though he's seeing this guy doing everything he could to stop Zod, right? He'd take that as, well, I mean, if this guy goes crazy, we're all fucked, right? Yeah. And I get that point of view, because the military was doing the same thing, and I just said that was one of the things I liked in Man of Steel. It just felt weird. It almost felt like forced in a way that they wanted to have Batman in the movie and the only way they could think about having Batman in the movie was that they were going to fight. You know, and I think part of the problem is they called it Batman v Superman instead of World's Finest. Because then you go into it thinking differently. You could still have them fight.
You can simply just call it Dawn of Justice.
You could call it Dawn of Justice. You could call it anything other than Batman v Superman, because now they have to fight.
I feel like that was just, we have to have Batman in the title. Because people have to know this is Batman.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Dark Knight shows you made them billions. They go,
No, I agree. But so yeah, like I mean, I will never agree with the amount of killing that he does.
Mhm.
Okay, like even in Dark Knight Returns. Oh, shocker! I'm referencing that movie or that book, right? But I mean, like he's wearing the suit and stuff like that. But even in that one, like he's he's in his 70s, and he's killing some of these guys, and even then, I'm like, like I'm just part of the appeal is that no matter what, he's never gonna kill, or like at least in the Man of Steel circumstance, he's only gonna do it the one time. But his whole thing is I can't do it because then I'm just like them. Because otherwise he'd kill the Joker and then walk away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it.
I guess really what I'm trying to say is that your opinion is bullshit and
Okay.
wrong and stupid and you're dumb.
Okay. Well, that's been the Camcast, everyone. No,
Yeah, that has been it. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck you. I think it all really comes down to what age you were when growing up with Batman. The Batman you grew up with. Because there's going to be a generation that grew up with Dark Knight
It's the same with,
Returns.
like Superman too. It's always going to be, you know what I mean? Like, because we grew up with Michael Keaton, Adam West, and Kevin Conroy. You know what I mean?
And Val Kilmer.
That's right. Well, okay, like when we were in our formative stages,
Right? I just really wanted this, Val.
Right? When we were in our early formative stages, he's another one that we should get on this Camcast.
I know, but Fat Val, like the one at the restaurant. Eating his meatballs, looking all happy.
I want him.
I love
Actually, yeah, I
You
have
want
to
him?
agree. I want him to be on the show.
Oh,
Just
okay.
that-
I'm glad you finished the sentence. I want him.
I don't know if too many people have actually said that. I want Val. I want him.
Nick Cage might have.
They have to be on the show now.
I want Nick Cage and Val Kilmer so bad.
We've got 13 subscribers, and we're like, get these fucking stars on the show.
Do it. They're not doing anything.
But yeah, like you're right. Like we had that trifecta. So we had like the goofy Adam West, and we had.
Okay. I just realized we can make our own Batman v Superman with Nick Cage and Val Kilmer.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
And it would have to be directed by Tim Burton.
Exactly.
Just have to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had those three. So we had three different versions, right? Because, like, I mean, I remember I wasn't really reading a lot of comics at that stage, right? But when I was, the Batman I was reading was, like, whoever was writing it at the time, right? But I just remember visually the artists, like Jim Aparo was the big one for me, you know? But you're right, like, you're going to get that version.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like me, like, my version of Superman is, like, the closest one that I have seen I would have to say would be like Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman. That's like perfect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could see that, like if Man of Steel 2, because they reference Man of Steel, so they reference some of that Grant Morrison stuff. So if they want to go crazy, do that. Do that version where he's like 1 second he's smiling and he's like, you know, high-fiving kids, and then next he's like, you know, pleading with Lex Luthor to just stop it, like you don't need to do this, and then finally like beating the fuck out of people.
I'd really love to see like the Dan Jurgens, Kurt Busiek area of Superman in a film. Brainiac is the villain.
I really want to see Brainiac as the villain.
Yeah.
I really think that Brainiac being the villain, even if it's like Luthor in the background type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
But Brainiac I think should be.
I think so.
Like, and if I was gonna pick the one, I would say it would be the Jeff Johns.
Yeah,
Brainiac.
that was a cool Brainiac.
When they're like all the Brainiacs that you saw prior to this weren't really him. This is him, and yeah, I'm super fucking smart, but I'm also like big enough to beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
So I
Creepy mofo.
and chilling too because he was just so
just
detached and
just,
alien. Like,
yeah.
so I think that would be the perfect one to do it. And also you get that 1-2 punch where like you've got the alien who inspires hope,
Mm-hmm.
the alien who is just literally inspiring fear, right? But anyway, so yeah, you're right. Like we're gonna have our perfect versions, and it's gonna be hard to.
I mean,
Cavill Superman, like even with Terrio and Goyer, like it's closer in Batman v Superman. I find like it's closer.
It is. It's getting there, right?
And
it's like it's on its
yeah,
way.
like even just like after that movie, I'm kind of like, okay, like I can see where now they can go from there.
Yeah.
You know, and especially now that you have, you know, he dies. Was it Gotham or Metropolis that he dies?
Gotham.
It was Gotham. That's
Yeah,
right,
it's
Gotham Harbor.
Right.
But the world sees him sacrifice himself to save them, and now they go, you know what? So what if he's an alien? So what if all those people died in Metropolis? You know,
He tried.
He did everything he could to save us.
Yeah.
He killed
He was a hero.
himself to save us. So, you know, so from there you have the ability for him to come back and be like the Superman that we all know and love.
Right.
So I mean, that's fine. And I mean, that was a crazy awesome scene too, when he like is impaled, he's got the spear, and then he just does that and pulls himself in. I'm like, oh my god, that is awesome. Like that is like Superman would do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, 100%.
And even before that, when Lois is like, don't do it, and he's just like smiling, and he's like, well, this is my world. Like, you're my world. I have to do this.
Yeah.
And she knows. And she knows that he's going to put him down. And
That whole end of it is just like, oh.
you know?
Yeah, you know what? I've been watching these movies now, and they start a little rough with me first, in the DCEU movies.
Yes.
Because I have this vision in my mind, and it's not 100% of what I get, right?
That's right.
But the more I watch, the more I'm like, all right, okay. And now, after Justice League, I'm actually finding I'm starting to enjoy these more than the MCU. Just because they're not the fucking same every movie.
Right, like you and I talk about this all the time, and it's like it's literally like template movies. And now that they look at all the template movies that they had in the first place that did really good, you know, and so they've already like started repeating those templates.
Yeah.
Right. So Doctor Strange, Iron Man.
Right.
And it's not even that far off.
No.
From being bang on.
No.
The only thing that I thought was really cool about Doctor Strange was the visual spectacle.
Yeah.
The story itself, I was like, this is a generic origin movie. You know, I mean, you could say the same about Wonder Woman. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, we won't get ahead of ourselves here. So what else? I'll do this really quick.
Yeah.
With Batman v Superman, I'm just ultimately going to say, while I wasn't 100% a fan of Batfleck in this movie, visually, I liked him. I mean, and I'm a sucker for Nolan and Bale's Batman, and I love the all-black suit, the tactical nature of the suit, but the kid growing up watching the animated series and reading comic books, just seeing him in the suit, and yeah, they make a point of making it look like armor and stuff, but it's still like he's got the gloves on, and you see the black and the gray and the big, huge, you know, utility belt.
He's the closest we've had to a live action from the comic book Batman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And, like, I mean, I'm not going to fault Ben Affleck for it because it's just, he was told to do this, he read his lines, he did everything. So he was great in it, you know, even though he wasn't necessarily a version of Batman that I particularly liked. But there was a lot of really good scenes, like when they introduced Batman, and he's, like, headed up in the corner.
It's like a horror movie.
You know?
Just like across the
and then
ceiling.
He's, like, climbing around the wall and stuff. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah.
The Arkham.
The warehouse fight.
Yeah, the Arkham Knight fight that he does there, where, like, even though that one there.
A lot of killing.
I don't think anyone really made it out alive. And that's before the fucking grenade goes off.
Yeah.
But, I mean, fight-wise, it was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like, even when he's up here and they're, like, firing down and he's, like, doing all the tech stuff and he's taking out a bunch of guys. Like, it was just crazy.
The crate?
Or
like,
the one punch.
Well, that guy's broken.
Yeah, I punch the guy and the guy's just like this.
Broken in half.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
You know? But, like, if none of those deaths happened, and then that one scene with the guy who's going to become the KG Beast, Anatoly Knaizev, right? Because he's got the torch, right? He kills Anatoly. I'm okay with that. What else was he going to do? Like, then I'm like, okay, you didn't have much else you could do. I'm all right with that. Because then it's not like he's spent the whole movie mowing down criminals. Right? Because he's got the highest death toll, I think, in all of the movies.
Oh, easily.
You know, and I'm not including Nightmare. I'm not. Hold on, Nightmare. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was so crazy. As much as I don't like to see an evil Superman ever, and reports were coming that we would have got a more evil Superman, or at least some sort of Flash Justice League, that whole scene was crazy awesome.
Yeah.
You saw the Omega, you saw parademons, and they looked like parademons. Duster Batman. Who the fuck would have thought Duster Batman would have been cool?
It's just a Duster Batman.
I love it. That's an action figure right there.
Yep.
That's a costume that I am surprised we haven't seen so much of.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I know.
I would say
a great introduction to Wonder Woman.
Amazing. Totally sold it for me. And Gal Gadot, I was literally like, I don't know. Because, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Not that I needed a bodybuilder to be Wonder Woman, but I've always pictured her as a bit more on the bigger side. Like, if we're looking at a wrestler, as an example, I would say, like, Beth Phoenix.
Mm.
You know? Beautiful, feminine, but got arms on her, and you think, okay, well, she could probably kick my ass.
Yeah.
She can't, because she's a girl.
Oh, and we'd just be shut down.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people were talking about Gina Carano.
Yes, that's another one.
That was one that was really going around a lot.
Yeah, that's another one, too.
And I'm glad it didn't happen, because she can't act compared to Gal Gadot.
No. In fact, like, if it was, if they did Wonder Woman like they did Haywire, then I would have been fine. It just wouldn't have been a good movie. Haywire was all right.
I enjoy Haywire. Haywire's
She was
good
really
movie.
good in it. It's just that was a movie where she didn't really have to act.
No.
You know?
No.
But she did look believable in all her scenes. But yeah, excellent introduction to Wonder Woman, and excellent follow-through, you know? My only really gripes about the movie is the introduction of the remaining Justice League.
Yeah, I didn't like that. We talked about this before. I felt like that.
That was
that
totally
that clip that they were watching. That should have been like a credit scene.
Yeah, like that should have been an end credit scene, and you could have like interspersed it. So like right at the end of the movie, one of them, roll some credits, another one, roll some credits. At the last one, done, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. You can still do the whole scene where she's looking through the email. That's fine, you know. But that one was like, ugh. Plus, I also didn't like the way Ezra Miller looked in the movie with the long hair.
Yeah, the long flowing hair and stuff. It's just really
stuff.
weird
It's
looking.
just like, no.
I'm glad they fixed that up for Justice League.
The scene where Flash travels back in time was another one where I was like,
Why was that there?
Just cut that. You don't need it.
No,
There's
I think
no
that.
point. You know, the
stupid.
Nightmare Vision was good enough, right? Because you could literally, like, it's a vision, and he goes, huh, weird, okay, right? Does not deserve the flack that it got.
No.
But they should have released the uncut version.
The Ultimate Edition.
They should have actually sat there and said, hey, look, it's 3 hours, but trust me, everything makes sense.
Worth it.
You know?
Hell, even put an intermission in the middle of it if you're worried about people.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
Now break it for 15-minute intermission. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go
I'd
get some popcorn.
That. Take a piss.
Yeah.
You know, at the time. No, that's right. Did I quit smoking at the time? I think I quit. I quit smoking at the time. No.
Oh, that was one of your breaks?
No, that's right. I would have had a smoke break. I would have had a smoke break.
You would have had a smoke break.
Because that wasn't this year. It was last year.
Yes.
It came out. That's right.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, like, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I've still rewatched that movie a ton. Like, I really like it. I love the scene where, you know, Superman shows up and Luthor is just like cooking up Doomsday, and it's just like, you lost, and like Luthor's like, oh, I don't know how to lose, you know, and he's like, you'll learn. Oh, I'll learn. I'm like, this is great. Like, this version is awesome.
Yeah. The
tweaks and twitches and stuff earlier, I was just like, it was okay. It's okay if it was working towards something, you know, like maybe that was just his way of fucking with people. The only time I really found it annoying was in the fundraiser scene, party. In his house,
yeah.
where he was like spazzing out on this way, Clark Kent. I didn't mind that part when he's on stage and he's spazzing out and he's like,
go do some more
thunderbolts and stuff, and I was like,
go do some more coke, Lex.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I like that they nonchalantly had Superman figure out that Bruce Wayne is Batman just by listening. I thought that was cool. The scene where he, then immediately the Superman stuff where they're showing him being all godlike. Like, they touched on a lot of really cool themes about how the world at large, how are they going to react to this guy who's telling you you're nowhere near as special as I am.
Yeah.
But I love the one part where it's just like, maybe he's just a guy who wants to help. And you're like, yeah. Like, it's things like that would make me think that on some level, Snyder gets it.
Mm-hmm.
And the Warner Brothers are just in a panic for these movies to make $1 billion just so they can be like, look at you, Marvel. That they're willing to just cut so much.
Yeah.
And I'm glad
that
they released the uncut version. I am so glad, But yeah.
So you would say so far Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman? You go Man of Steel is your favorite so far?
Actually, to be honest, Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman
they're pretty much.
Yeah. Like Wonder
Woman is the top. There's a lot that you love about both of them.
Yeah. The stuff that I love outweighs the stuff that I didn't like in both movies. And I do like that, you watch Man of Steel and then you watch Batman v Superman. There's a progression for Superman in particular, so there is an arc as well, and that carries into Justice League, which I really liked. But yeah, like Wonder Woman is the cake taker right now.
Okay, well let's quickly go over the squad.
Suicide Squad is gonna be a quick one.
It'll be a quick one. I do enjoy Suicide Squad.
Yep, so did I.
I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was gonna.
So did I.
Like I was like, wow, I'm actually surprised I enjoyed that much.
That's right.
Because so much of it did not look appealing to me. I didn't even watch it in the theater.
I didn't either.
Which is weird.
I watched a bullshit cam version first.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah, but I own the movie. Like, I own it. So I watched the finished copy. I believe I got the extended version, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think both of them came with the release.
But I was going to say, I don't think there was really much that they cut.
Because it's not like Batman vs Superman. It's like maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if I remember correctly, was it David Hayter?
Mm-hmm.
Hayter?
Yeah.
He was saying that the version that we saw in the theater was his version.
Mm-hmm. But
then they released the extended cut, and I remember going, well, I don't understand.
The version before it went to the editing room.
Yeah, but anyway.
But yeah, I like it a lot. I enjoyed Will Smith as Deadshot.
I enjoyed him as Deadshot more than I thought I would, because I don't remember the last time I watched a movie where he wasn't playing Will Smith.
And then the backstory where Batman was there and his daughter,
man, that was awesome. That's so cool. She's like, "No, Dad," and it's like, "Whoa, that's crazy." That was cool.
That was really cool.
I really enjoyed that part. For me, well, no, you continue. You continue.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I
beautiful, and amazing.
My only complaint about her was visually. I don't think they should have done the sluttier New 52 version.
No.
They should have waited or they should have done the one that she's now, where she's got it's almost like battle armor. Sure, she's showing her tits and her ass. But
I think that's where.
shorts.
I think it's gonna go there.
I think so too. She's wearing shorts, you know what I mean, and a tank top. Because that was my one major gripe was that she looked like that. Not that I think she should have looked like Harley from the cartoon, or how she looked for the longest time, even though I would have geeked out hard for it. I would have been like, yeah, but especially because they're really looking at her like the female Deadpool, and they should, because it's very close, and they can do that with her.
Mm-hmm.
Tone down the sex, because now you're looking at a potential female role model. You look at Wonder Woman, and up until the movies, she was basically wearing a glorified bathing suit.
Yep.
Right? Now they do it more armor, and they do the
so much better.
Skirt.
So much better.
But she's still essentially wearing what she's always worn.
Yep.
Right? So, I don't necessarily think that every female superhero has to be covered up. But at the same time, you don't need to see a G-string. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But Margot Robbie, crazy good. Crazy good.
She was so good. That was the cartoon Harley in live action.
But she made it her own, though.
But she made it her own.
Melissa Rauch, who voiced Harley in that Batman and Harley.
Right.
She's okay in it. But I just feel like she's trying to be like Arlene Sorkin, or the original voice actress, who I can't remember the name was.
Is it Tara Strong?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tara Strong,
that's right. Arlene Sorkin is obviously basically doing Tara Strong's version.
Yeah.
But they're almost seamless, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like how Margot Robbie does her own spin on it, even though she's mining that same territory. She was really good. Like Michelle said, if it wasn't for her, she probably would have hated the movie. She thought the movie was like leaps and bounds better because of her, and I agree. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
While I was surprised with Will Smith not being Will Smith as Deadshot, it still was. I don't know the last time I've been impressed with Will Smith. Pursuit of Happiness. I think that would be the last time that I was like, oh yeah, that guy can act. As opposed.
Was that before or after I Am Legend?
Oh, I don't even care.
You don't like I Am Legend?
Still not even close.
What? His performance in this.
Michelle loves it too. I don't.
You don't like the performance? You don't like?
The Moby.
Oh, the dog died.
No. That's not even it. That's part of it. But that has
that's part of it. Okay.
That's part of the movie.
I knew that was part of it.
That's part of the movie.
It was like the dog died in it.
That has nothing to do with my feelings on Will Smith.
Okay.
Okay. I've watched it enough times that it's like you watch After Earth.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like he's doing the same thing in After Earth that he did in I Am Legend, and I didn't like it in I Am Legend. The only parts that I liked him as an actor in I Am Legend was the flashback scenes with his family.
Mm-hmm.
When he's patrolling, all by himself with his dog.
Nothing. All right. Mm-hmm.
Nothing at all.
Okay, cool. Didn't know that. Pursuit of Happiness is amazing.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Actually, 7 Pounds is really good too.
That's when I started looking at most of his movies and being like, look, I think the last Ali.
You're not fooling me anymore, Will.
No, was it not Ali? But yeah, it was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
Ali. He was great in that movie.
Yeah.
He was also fantastic in that movie.
And Wild Wild West.
I had a feeling you were going to slide like one of those joke movies in there. That was one of the first times we watched a Will Smith movie and was like, I don't know about this.
That was the second movie I watched at Silver Sea when it opened. I remember that shit.
Really
actually, that was my first one. Yeah, my first one was supposed to be Big Daddy with you, but I couldn't make it.
That's
I had
right.
to work
and I still went, and I watched it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
The Wild Wild West.
I've watched it a couple of times since then just to be like, maybe it's not as bad. And then within 20 minutes, I'm like, oh, this is
it's awful.
It's actually worse.
I
think it's worse now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So story-wise, with Suicide Squad, I actually liked the twist where you find out that they're hunting down, like they're trying to save Waller.
Right.
I thought that was crazy cool. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's different.
I wasn't expecting that.
And, all the shit's happening because of Waller, but then they're trying to save Waller. The cast of characters, I think, Killer Croc, they could have done more with Killer Croc.
Oh, yeah. But still pretty cool.
Diablo was awesome.
Diablo was really cool.
He was a standout for me, and I'm really disappointed that they killed him off. Because his story was like perfect. Mm-hmm. And I would have loved to see him in other movies if they ever make another movie, which I don't think they're going to now.
I don't think there's going not with the Suicide Squad.
No,
you'll see a solo Deadshot and a solo.
I don't even think we'll see a solo Deadshot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think so. We'll definitely see like a slew of Harley movies, a solo plus.
Yeah.
And which I'm fine with. Like as long as the other cast members are good enough, then I don't care. But Diablo was really cool. Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, I actually didn't mind him.
And I largely dislike him as an actor. In fact, when I see him in movies, I'm more or less like,
I'm gonna avoid it.
Why would you cast him?
Yeah.
I think I've only liked him in Jack Reacher and Suicide Squad. Because I can't remember anything else that he was in.
My favorite thing he's done is the Spartacus TV show, the first season that he was in.
Really, eh?
Excellent. And then he went into movies, and he should not have done that.
Or but do movies where like they showcase your sort of limited acting range. Like in Jack Reacher, he was just a bad dude.
Yeah, simple.
But in Suicide Squad, he was awesome. Yeah, his Captain Boomerang was like a dirtbag alcoholic who didn't give a shit about anything. The only thing I would have changed was show the part where he makes the flip, where he goes from I don't give a fuck about any of you guys to suddenly being like, yeah, I'm gonna help you, because he just shows up at the end.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like there was a lot of complaints where, and that's where like I think there's a larger uncut version that might have padded that stuff in, but we are going to talk about Joker. I'm going to save that for last. because I think that's a pretty good segue into Wonder Woman. The big bad Enchantress.
She was all right. It's nothing. She
Should have got a different actress.
Yeah.
You know, someone who could actually act. I'm sure she's a great person. I'm sure she's super nice and people like her. She was terrible in this movie.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I've acted in a ton of things.
Oh, you're
Right?
acting right now.
That's right.
Chris Mercy is a character.
I am a character. I'm acting right now. Check this out. Look at me. Look at me. Angry. You thought I was angry, didn't you? But,
I peed a little.
so did I. I'm told she was good in, like, Paper Towns or something like that.
Paper Towns is a good movie, but she's in it a very limited amount of time.
But she strikes me as, like, Kristen Stewart, when Kristen Stewart was in that Twilight stage, where all she did was play that angsty sort of, like, I'm gonna pull my hair, I'm so, like, oh, sad, but I'm also, like, hurt, you know, like, like Adventureland, she plays the same role she does in pretty much any of those movies at that time period. Adventureland, she's really good in, right? She just needed to find that one movie that would say, yeah, okay, I'm good in this movie, I fit in this movie. I don't think, Clara Delevingne, whatever. If I apologize if I've, because you're never going to watch this, but I'm going to apologize anyway, just in case. If I pronounce your name wrong, it's because I don't care.
But if you do watch this, please get Nic Cage to call us. Thanks.
Yeah, she probably does know him.
He probably does.
She seems like the type that would be that shamanistic nouveau actor that Nicolas Cage describes himself as.
Yes.
Nouveau shamanistic, I think that was the term. But anyway, like, they complain about the CGI stuff. I mean, for a character like her, the CGI works.
Yep.
The CGI works. Doesn't work so much with her brother, though.
No.
You know, like, I think they should have done something similar where, like, this is largely CGI, but this isn't, right? I think they could have done the same thing. The throw everything at the wall battle scene, like, at the end, I did not like 90% of the Joker visually. I thought that there was something there that was different, and I wanted to see more of him. I'm pissed off that they marketed it like it's Joker and the Suicide Squad. Then you watch it and you're like, 10 minutes?
That's it. That's it.
You know?
And that's in the extended cut.
Exactly. Like, because there was something there, and I thought, like, this could be like that. Like, the Heath Ledger creepy, funny, black humor Joker, but dialed up a bit more, where you're just kind of like, you're like legit scared. You're not just like, oh yeah, there's times when I'm afraid of Joker. You're just like, even the guys around him are completely like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck. Yeah. You know, because you never know where he's gonna go with this. You know, him making Harley was great. I liked it. I thought that was awesome.
I like that part too.
Chemicals, I thought was really cool. It was one of those
really
like,
cool.
oh, you know, like, oh, they did it. You know, and I mean, I know that's not necessarily her origin in the comic books, but it worked for me. I liked it. I did like how they treated it more like an abusive relationship, to the point where, like, at the end,
it was interesting
when he saves her, and you're like, nah, fuck, no, don't go back with him. You know. But at the same time, I have to say, like, I think they shouldn't reference it too much, because, I mean, they were together for, like, I think 2 decades in the comic books before they officially split up, and they start talking about how he's, like, abusive and stuff like that, but it's like, you don't have to get too real, you know? Yeah. But that's how I feel about that. Overall, good movie, better than I thought it was going to be. A couple of plot holes, but I think, you know, that's another thing with Warner Brother editing.
I don't really have anything to add. I think we think pretty much the same on the whole movie. But I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. Yep. It's probably my least favorite out of the 5, but I still enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Exactly. So. That's exactly where I'm at. So, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, let's just jump right into the best one.
Hands down.
And I don't want to go too quick through 101, but we're going to have to, because we haven't talked Justice League yet, and I really think we're going to dive deep into that.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch things up a bit, and literally, I want you to just tell me what you didn't like about Wonder Woman. What you didn't like, or what you felt didn't work.
What I didn't like.
Because that
what I didn't like.
should be quick.
I liked everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I know that everyone was like, "Oh, it's a CGI bad guy." I loved it.
But he looked great. Out of all the CGI bad guys in the DC Extended Universe,
he looked awesome.
He's the best looking one.
What else was great? I loved the switch.
Yep.
Where you think it's what's his face, Stryker from the X movies.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
him.
yeah.
And then it's really not him. It's actually the buddy that's been trying to help out all along. I was like, man, that's awesome that they did the switch.
So good.
And I remember when they started to show him more, and I'm going, wait a minute, something's up with this guy. But then they leave him alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then Danny Houston.
Yep.
They have that big, huge fight scene with Danny Houston, and he's doing all those power-ups. And I remember just being like, okay, all right, he's going to fucking turn into Ares. And then he's not. And I was like, wow, that's a great switch. That is absolutely a great switch. And
Ares was actually kind of creepy when he appeared. Just like the way everything went dark and the music that went with it. And like,
so good. So good.
The scenes in this movie, like the Amazons on the beach, that scene is fucking incredible. That's one of the best action scenes I've ever seen. And then
good.
No Man's Land. I like
that whole sequence. No Man's Land, going through the town, everything. Like just being a hero for no other reason other than, well, this is the right thing to do. Like I've said this before, I don't like how they appropriated the Hope inspiration for Wonder Woman as opposed to Superman. But at the same time, it works so much better. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, wow, this is great.
And because it's like years ago, Wonder Woman has this, like, and the way Gal Gadot plays it off, this childlike innocence. And it's so amazing to watch, just as she slowly just like breaks down and be like, this is humanity. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is what I'm fighting for.
And that's the best part is like,
this is what I left my home for.
You see it breaking down where she's like, this is everything I've ever wanted. And now that I have it, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on here? You know, and they do that montage where she's trying to dresses and they're playing it for laughs. She's straight all the way through. Mm-hmm. It's not once is she smirking. It's just, this is how I was raised, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, she did a phenomenal job in that movie. The writers did a phenomenal job in that movie. Patty Jenkins did an absolutely phenomenal job.
I honestly think
she should direct Batgirl.
She should direct Batgirl after Wonder Woman 2.
Yes, 100%.
I don't want anyone else touching Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Her only.
I agree.
Her only.
100%.
Like, I wonder what she could have done with the second Thor, because she was the original director attached to that.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, that, after this, Thor 2 might have been really fucking good if she
might have been
stayed
like
on.
a game changer.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like Wonder Woman was a game changer.
It was.
You know? I mean...
I straight up think she should get like a director nom.
They were talking about how it's like a more of a Marvel movie, but I don't feel like it is.
I don't think Marvel vibe it at all, man.
I just felt like it was essentially like a really bright and cheery movie to start off with. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's one of the things I really liked was like Themyscira is brightly lit. You know, there's no filters, there's no nothing.
Stunning.
And then when they go through and it's like dark and dreary, I was like, oh man, that's Man's World right there. That's gross. But here's another thing that I really liked was, so because we know it's a period piece, it's a flashback, she's reliving these things, right? You know on some level that these characters are going to die, and yet you care for them. Mm-hmm. Like Etta Candy was amazing. I want to see more of her, right? Steve Trevor, you knew he was never going to make it past the first movie, but you still were like, oh man, like there was a party that was like just...
Oh, it was the same as like Captain America and Peggy Carter. Like, just like, they're so beautiful together, and the heart, like, I cried like a little bitch.
Like, it was just one of those where you're just like, man, like, see, the difference is that Steve Trevor actually died.
Right.
You know, we got a resolution of sorts in Winter Soldier. We don't get that here. Like, we get him going like, I'm sorry, I got to do this, you know?
Kind of makes me wonder if, like, Flash will take her back to see him or something.
Yeah, if they do that, I'll be like, it's gross. But that
would not happen.
But hands down, like I said, hands down, like I don't have anything in that movie that I don't like. Dr. Poison was awesome.
Yep.
I wanted to see more of her.
Yeah, me too.
Danny Houston, always awesome. Just plays that bad guy so good. Like one of those scenes where they throw the gas mask in, and then she's like, yeah, but there's nothing in it. Like, they don't know that. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, he's just a dick for being, like, he's sadistic. Like, everything about that movie is great. The pacing was great. I didn't feel like anything was rushed. And here's a good indication. There's no, like, super uncut version of that movie.
No.
you know. So I think like if Warner Brothers exercised that kind of restraint in every other movie from here on out, we might be looking at some really good movies. Also, stop emphasizing the extended universe and continuity and stuff like that, right?
Mm.
So, anything else real quick?
No, Wonder Woman, amazing.
All right, Justice League. There it is.
And probably like my top 5 superhero movies of all time.
Yep, I would have to say
Straight up.
It's right up there with Spider-Man 2 and X-Men 2 and like just so many.
It is
like, so
game
many.
changer wise, like
Yeah, and they got their
hands
first.
down.
Marvel had a good opportunity for a Black Widow movie, didn't take it.
Nope.
Good luck with Captain Marvel. It'll be a perfect movie. Rotten Tomatoes will think it's the best movie of all time.
Yes.
You know, even if the critics
100%.
or the fans are like, it's
Better
good.
reviews than Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
I guarantee
It'll
it.
be like the first ever 120% perfect.
First ever.
Yeah.
We've got over 100.
Yeah.
But Justice League.
Justice League, yeah.
Let's hop into that and wrap the show with our Justice League thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard someone say in a really great review that it was more of a Frankenstein's monster than a movie.
Yeah.
Where it's just like all these bits and pieces glued together.
This is one where if we don't get like an uncut extended version, I'll be disappointed. But if we don't get the exact Snyder version, I'm gonna be really fucking mad because this whole thing about how it's like a 20% tops Whedon movie is pure horseshit.
Oh, pure horseshit. You could so tell Whedon in that movie.
I mean, like, I'll say this really quick. For Paramount to be dicks and say, no, Cavill can't shave his mustache while he's doing reshoots is horseshit. Like, fuck you.
How long did it take to
Paramount.
grow a mustache?
No. How
You
easy
glue a
is it to
mustache
CGI a mustache on?
Yeah,
A
compared
lot
to a
harder
movie.
or a lot easier to do that to cover it up with like crater face.
So then we get this weird fucking looking overbite Superman.
And I knew it going in. Like, I knew it was going to happen going in. And that's one of those things where, like, you can tell when the reshoots hit because he has it and when he doesn't have it. Luckily for, like, Cavill's case, there's only 2 or 3 spots in the whole movie where you can see clearly that it's reshot.
Obviously, spoilers if you haven't seen Justice League. You might as well just shut it off if you haven't.
Yeah,
but
then turn it back on when
Yes.
you do. Because, like, let's face it.
Hey. The 2 spots where it stuck out the most was the opening shot where he's on the cam with the kid.
I actually would have liked that scene a lot more
I
if I
know.
didn't spend the whole time going, like, did they put tape on his mustache?
Yeah.
Like, is that
I
all
was
they
like,
did?
wow, he looks weird.
Like, at least with Cesar Romero, you know, they painted over it
Yeah.
with the white, and it was still there.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't, like, man, and that was bad. And that scene I really liked. The only thing I didn't like about that scene is that I almost felt like that should have been, like, a bookend scene. Because they cut it off at where he's going to say why he loves the world so much. Well, show me at the end of the movie. Because I spent the whole movie going, so? Like, what did he...
Why'd you love the world?
What did he say? What was the thing that he loved about the world the
Yeah.
most? Because he ends off with, like, a big smile, and I was like, what's going on here? You know, but I will say that immediately when you see that bright blue and bright red and
So much
yellow,
brighter.
you're just like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the kind of
this
shit
is
I
the
want to see.
Superman.
As far as the review goes, I don't think I'm going to say too much that everyone else hasn't already said. Like, I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie.
I found it enjoyable.
Um,
Very enjoyable.
Michelle said it was one of her favorites. She really liked it. She liked it. Nowhere near as good as Wonder Woman, obviously, but she liked it a lot. The Frankenstein's monster movie, it's brutally evident, though. The Whedon stuff,
Oh, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
I'm kind of done with him. Okay? Like, I don't mind Batman making a couple of quips here and there, but that's a guy that should be more deadpan.
Oh, 100%.
Like, as an example, the scene where Superman asks him, like, do you bleed? Right? Which I thought was awesome. I'm like, oh my god.
Do you
Whoa.
bleed? I was so... Oh.
And then Lois shows up and he just throws him away.
And the way he was holding him by, like, the bottom of his face.
Yeah, like, it wasn't even throw. He was like,
Yeah, just like...
getting all dirtbaggy, right? So, but he's like, so when they cut back to Batman, he's like, yep, I'm bleeding. I was like, that's a funny line.
That's funny.
I don't like the part where Superman goes, well, you didn't bring me back because you liked me. And you have Batman going, well, I don't not like you. And I was like, no.
No.
No fucking way would he suddenly be like, you know. I actually feel like I do feel like the Snyder's Justice League was going to be a lot darker. I think honestly, it probably would have been a better fit because towards the end, when it starts to get much more bright and sunny, I think that would have been a bigger payoff. We also wouldn't have been emotionally invested in a family in Turkestan. I'm not sure where this Russian Polish country.
It's only a 2-hour movie. How many times I got to see this family?
But that's totally Whedon right there.
Oh yeah,
you know,
because he did the same thing with Age of Ultron.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, like.
Oh, and the boob dive.
Yeah, I actually remember.
Age of Ultron, they had to have Banner fall face first into Black Widow.
And I remember thinking to myself, like, that's not really that funny.
And then
it wasn't necessary.
And then Flash into Wonder Woman.
It didn't need it.
Yeah.
You know, although I loved Flash.
Yeah.
Like, I loved Flash, the TV show. Like, I'm a huge fan of Grant Gustin and the show itself. And I mean, this season is incredibly awesome. And I'm, like, super mad that, of course,
I haven't seen it yet.
He's not in, like, they're not using those characters.
Okay.
But Ezra Miller was so good.
It was very funny.
Like, even the scene where Bruce...
And that's why you don't need Batman dropping jokes, because he was fucking funny enough for all of them.
Yeah, but, like, and that whole scene where, like, they introduce Batman and Snyder, or Ezra Miller, that's all Snyder. And it was hilarious. Like, I was laughing my ass off, but I wasn't like, okay. But I was like, man, this is so funny. And his character was really cool, where he's just like, I'm not really, like, I just push people out of the way, like, I don't fight. I was like, man, that makes perfect sense.
Batman's like, save one.
I know. And then he does, and then he's like,
oh, that wasn't so bad.
You know? Or even just something as simple where he's meeting his dad.
Yeah.
And then, like, he does the marker on the guy's face. I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, every time he was on screen, I was watching him, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I loved it. Cyborg surprised the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Super surprised the hell out of me.
He was
he's
so
the one
good
that
in
we
this
talked
movie.
about that I was like, that's the guy. He's the weakest fucking link in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the one that makes it for me. And he did such a great job.
Amazing.
So good. I do feel like there's a scene cut where Wonder Woman and Cyborg start to get a little bit closer, like more of a mentor type thing. I don't think it's a relationship tease like some people have been saying. I think it's more of a mentorship.
No. Yeah.
Because then it explains why he suddenly wants to help, right? Aquaman, while overall I liked the different take on him, even visually, especially when he was in costume later on, I was like, that's so fucking sweet. That is so awesome. I could have gone less with the sort of like cowboy sort of surfer type dude. But I thought about it too, and it's like, it's kind of hard to have Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
Yeah.
Because they're essentially the same character, right? So she's a stoic princess of some fictional place that it doesn't exist.
And here's a prince.
And he's a prince of a fictional place, and he's normally stoic, and he's regal, and all this stuff. So I guess it kind of works in the sense that that's how he is right now, because he hasn't really taken up his responsibilities. He's still got mommy issues and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So having said that, I feel like I'm actually more excited to watch Aquaman, the movie, because of Momoa was really good. Like, they all did a really good job with their roles. The one that I didn't like was the whole Bruce Wayne sort of being like, I'm just a regular human, I can't do anything, and I'm probably going to die doing this stuff, but you, Wonder Woman, you're strong, and you incite hope, you should be a leader, because it was like, I've never seen any depiction of Batman where he's not like, no, I'm the leader. Like, I will defer to Superman and Wonder Woman or anyone else.
I kind of liked that, though.
Really, eh?
I did like it. And I don't know, like, I liked him finally getting...
Probably need to watch it 47 more times, but...
That realization that I'm just a normal human walking among, like, gods and heroes here.
Okay, yeah, you know what, you're right.
You know what, and it is setting it up for you to go, okay, Batfleck's not going to be Batman forever. Obviously, look at him. Like, the bruising on his back and everything, when they showed that, I was just like... And it gives you kind of a newfound respect for him, too. To be like, wow, you are standing up there knowing that you could die any second compared to these others.
Well, and I've always liked that about Batman. Like I've always said, like I love that like he's standing shoulder to shoulder with these gods, and no one else on the team goes, "What the fuck's this guy doing here?" Yeah. Like nobody says that. But yeah, I guess you're right. And that is kind of interesting that he's the one that voices it. So
I love the fucking Batman Returns drop. I mean, where Alfred or Batman, one of them said they missed the days of penguins with bombs strapped to their backs or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, they did a lot of really good. The soundtrack, like, overall, like, I liked the soundtrack. I thought it was kind of neat, but it did feel pandering a lot of times. Mm-hmm. Like, Danny Elfman, I thought was immediately a pandering thing.
It was, it's talking about Frankenstein monsters. Like, at first I was really pumped to hear his Batman score and everything again, but, like, that was basically just... Like, I heard his Hulk in there. I heard his Spider-Man in there. Like, every theme he's ever done was just, like,
yeah, and then even, like, trying to put the old Superman theme in there, too, and it was just kind of like...
And they were so quiet, the themes.
Right.
Like, this is your fucking Batman theme. This should be just...
The opening where, you know, you got that Nobody Knows Leonard Cohen cover.
Right.
That was an amazing opening.
So good.
Like, so good, and you're showing, like, the world and how it's happened since Superman's death, and... how they're like, they realize, okay, well, we really need
Apparently that was Joss Whedon that put that in there.
No, there's no way.
He said it was.
No way. 100%.
I really want, like...
The way it's shot, that's a Snyder shot.
Zack Snyder hasn't even watched the movie yet.
That's a Snyder shot. That whole opening sequence is a Snyder shot. The opening cell phone clip with Superman, that's Whedon. That's 100% Whedon. That's Whedon. The whole opening sequence, and even the sequence with Batman on Gotham's rooftops.
Yep.
Getting that guy, and then the only part that bugged me was when he got the parademon. Did he leave the guy there?
That was weird, right? The way that was cut.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I was like, is that the same guy he was just attacking a second ago, or is this a new guy? Because now it seems like they're kind of just chatting and having a good time about this.
Like, hey, so this is all happening because Superman died, right? And I was like, why would you be?
And I really loved it at first too, like seeing that Batman. Now I'm gonna say it again. Michael Keaton I've always loved, but Ben Affleck's my favorite Batman. Live action, Kevin Conroy will always be the best. Just because this is the Batman I have always wanted to see, and I think he's nailing it.
You know what? Yeah, I have to say, like, for what he's doing, like the fact that he's doing flips and things like that. Like, you're right. Like, and visually, yes, like, you know, he does.
I think Christian Bale was the Batman actor with the best scripts. I don't think he was the best Batman.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
That's one of those, like, we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. But, like, so overall, like, I would say, like, while I thoroughly enjoyed Justice League, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that movie having been 2 hours and 2.5 hours.
It was too short.
Because,
way too short.
Like, again, like, I know they want it to be a breezy affair, but at the same time, there were parts of the movie where I'm like, okay, but, like, this is rushed, and this is rushed, and this is rushed.
Speaking of rushed...
We'll wait till they actually knock on the door. But, like, the fight scene when Superman gets out and he's fighting the Justice League is awesome.
Yeah.
I actually wish that was a little bit longer and just show him beating the shit out of them. But the best part in the whole fight scene was when he tracked Flash.
That was so good. Flash is running.
When he did,
and you just see him like...
They're going to have him track it. And they didn't do the big head move. They did the eye.
Yeah,
they just went like that. And then it was like...
And then Flash's face was like...
He's literally like shitting his pants while he's running. I was like, that is awesome.
And then toe-to-toe with Wonder Woman.
The super headbutt.
Boom! Back and forth.
He's like, oh, I cringed when he just flew up. Bam. I was like, Christ.
See, I love that scene.
But the lowest part I thought was really awesome. I liked the scene in the core... But in the trailer where it's like, you wore the ring.
The trailer was so much better.
I was like,
why did they cut that?
I thought that was so great. But why didn't they have that scene and then go, you called Mom?
Yeah.
Like, both is perfect.
Okay, easily. I don't know why they cut that ring part.
But when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, that's beautiful. Like, that is so beautiful. And I was scared.
And I was expecting it to
watch that trailer because I was like, well, they're going to show Superman. But they showed
it in the way that, like, was it a dream?
Okay, all right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They played it like it could be a dream or whatever. And I was like, man, I'm glad it wasn't. But I love that part where he's just like, you're wearing the ring. And I was like, ooh. You know? I didn't like the Nightcrawler.
No, I didn't like the Nightcrawler either.
Like, again, like, it's going back to Batman. And, like, I've said this before in Batman v Superman, where... This is supposed to be like a genius level guy, and yet, like in Batman v Superman, He's largely just a dumb brute who doesn't really seem to think. And you can argue that that's just his head and the anger and all this stuff, the 20 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. He's not thinking clearly. But in this movie, he's got no excuse. You know? He's trying to right the wrongs that he's done for the past 20 years, and especially because he feels directly guilty for Superman's death. Mm-hmm. Superman never would have died if he wasn't like, let's fight, bitch.
Yeah.
Right? And then he creates the Nightcrawler. Everything else he's done, like, this is a better movie for Batman.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, like, I'm not really feeling Batfleck. And I'm still, like, when I watch Justice League again, when I actually own it, I'll probably get to the point where you're at, where you're just like, it is actually kind of sweet that he's acknowledging the fact that I'm just a regular dude and I can die, you know, but I'm still going to go out there and fight. I think that would be working if some of the other guys would be like, dude, like, he could die any second, but he's out there with us. I think that works, but, I mean, yes, I wanted to like this movie, and yes, I'm glad that I liked it more than I thought I would, because I was tempering myself, right? But now I can't help but think that, believe it or not, I want to see the Snyder's. I want to see
Snyder's cut 100%.
You know?
When I heard that they were bringing Whedon on, I went, no.
Even if
no, and I'm a hardcore Whedon fan from way back.
Even if they do that whole thing where you actually see a flashback of evil Superman, like with Steppenwolf, because that was one of the things they talked about, where they would show Darkseid and Superman side by side.
Well, apparently Snyder shot scenes with him in the black costume.
Yeah.
And they were all cut.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, and I was like, man, I don't want to see him in the black costume. I don't want to see him killing anybody. You know, but if that's all off-world, then maybe I don't care, right? Steppenwolf, I don't think he was that bad.
No, I don't think he was that bad.
CGI was dodgy in some places, I'll say. I'll fully admit it, but I don't think he was that bad. I actually liked the switch where the parademons killed him. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, it makes no sense because largely the Flash was shitting his pants the entire movie.
Yeah.
So they would be all over him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I thought it was kind of cool that they killed him and not, or we think, we don't know for sure, but no one else did. So I thought that was different. That was a nice, sweet little move they did there. And I mean, I had a huge smile when Superman came back, and it's just like
I was grinning.
I believe in truth.
It was just like,
you know what? It's like I also love justice, you know, and then starts laying out Steppenwolf. And I know some people are complaining about how it makes the Justice League look obsolete. I don't think so. You know, because it's not like Superman was beating the crap out of Steppenwolf and winning the day. Because then immediately he's like, oh, I got to save those people. You know, then he comes back. Even that scene where, like, they pull the mother boxes apart. And then it's like, I didn't think I could feel pain in my toes and the physical logistics. And Superman's just like, I take it back. I wish I was dead. And they're like chuckling and laughing. I was like, man, that's awesome. Yeah, like, there's a lot to like in this movie. Overall, I still like it. I would say, though, like, it beats out Suicide Squad, but that's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
There's a lot of feel-good moments.
Which is weird, because, like, Justice League should have been up there, right?
It should have been.
And it would have been.
For me, as a DC fan, this is the movie that I should be like, this is better than Avengers. Because ever since you talked about how Avengers felt like a TV movie for the first, like, half hour, 20 minutes, I'm like, man, that's totally true.
Yeah, you see that
It
now?
Actually feels more like a made-for-TV movie. That's it.
No,
they just happen to have an insanely good budget.
Yeah.
And Age of Ultron, more so.
Yeah, it felt like an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nobody complained about CGI Ultron, though.
No. No one complains about CGI anything in that universe.
Yeah, that's right. Tornado, completely CGI. That's great.
Yeah.
CGI.
Oh, wow, it's the ending of Spawn all over again.
DCU is all CGI.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
But so DCU Phase 1 overall, a lot more good than people think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like I mean, 3 out of 5 movies that I think are absolutely amazing movies, even though they're not all perfect. Yep. Wonder Woman is perfect.
Wonder Woman is perfect.
Hands down.
1 perfect, 2 amazings, and 2 very good, not as bad as you
should have been better. They should have been better, yes. But Warner Brothers has got to relax.
They need to just step the fuck back and let these guys do it. Like,
they got to relax. They got to just sit there and, like, I mean, I understand that they look at these properties and go, like, these are properties that'll make us billions of dollars, or should make them billions of dollars. But if your concern is making billions of dollars, then get people in there that understand the character. Like, I know that, Matt Landis was pushing to write a Superman movie. He shouldn't touch Superman at all.
No.
He thinks he get it gets it, but he really doesn't. But Matthew Vaughn, I'm excited about that prospect.
I hope that happens.
I think make Jeff Johns more hands-on. Like really,
I think he's going to be now going forward. Definitely, he's going to.
Honestly, if you're gonna have Whedon in there, make him more of a consultant. Have him be like a script puncher, where they.
He doesn't even need to be consultant.
I honestly, I don't think so either.
He struck gold with Avengers, but Age of Ultron's a horrible disappointment to me as a Marvel fan.
As a follow-up,
like
as a Marvel fan, after all the legwork that they did to build up,
it's a very forgetful film.
I know.
It's filler. Agree. It's 100% filler.
I know. I remember we walked out of that theater that night and we were just like, this could not have happened and nothing would have changed. They took a great, instantly awesome villain as Ultron, and I remember saying, like, I don't know if it's too soon for Ultron. Mm-hmm. You know? Regardless that they called it Age of Ultron, I remember thinking to myself, that's too soon, because in the comic books, when he shows up, and he always shows up, the Avengers are like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. We drop everything.
Drop fucking
everything, because we have to fight Ultron, and we're probably not going to make it out alive.
Yep.
But in the movie, it was James Spader as Tony Stark. No, that's it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so overall, I'm excited.
So we pretty much have the movies in the exact same order.
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm hopeful. I want Man of Steel 2.
Henry Cavill's got one more film in his contract. And I hope it's Man of Steel 2.
At least. And I hope it's Man of Steel 2. And I hope that Matthew Vaughn is on. And I hope Jeff Johns, if he's not writing it, is like balls deep in consultation.
Like everyone else at Warner, back to fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Just step back and just kind of let them do their thing, you know? And also mainly ease up on having it an interlocked cinematic universe. Okay?
That's why Wonder Woman works so well. They had that little thing at the beginning where
just like Captain America
wrote a letter. That was it.
But it doesn't have to do anything other than just make Superman, like, especially now. We know it's all in the same universe.
Yeah, we know.
We know, and
Superman.
I don't need to have, like, you know, Bruce talking to Batman on the cell phone and then, I'll call you back and then save the world. I don't need that. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to tie him up in Justice League 2.
Exactly.
Then do that. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like, as much fun as it was to see Hulk and Thor, I didn't have to see that. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. It was absolutely awesome, but I don't have to see that in every single movie.
Right. You
know, it doesn't have to be Avengers 2.0 every single time out.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Because then you water down the characters. Like Civil War, they're lucky that they weren't watering down Captain America.
Right. But that's the Russos.
I know.
That's why I feel good about Infinity War.
I know. I mean, the trailer alone, I was like, man, they cover every single inch. They cover every single base. I agree. Like in the Russos, I'm not going to doubt them.
They're the Marvel's Patty Jenkins.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And yeah, I lament Thor 2 now.
Yeah.
What would have been?
What would have been? All right, everyone, tell us what you thought about Justice League and the entire DC Extended Universe Part 1.
Yeah.
They don't like to be called Phase. So Part 1, I guess.
Part 1, whatever.
I don't know, wherever they're going with.
Whatever. But yeah, like, I mean, just tell us anything. Even just if out of the 13 subscribers that isn't you, me, Michelle, tell us what you want to see. Like right now, we're at a blank slate.
Yeah.
We'll be looking at Phase 2 coming up. That'll be the next one, I think. Phase 2 for Marvel.
Marvel Phase 2. We got a lot of stuff in the. But here, yeah, Chris bought a house. I bought a house. We've been incredibly busy. So, but we're going to come back real soon with a more.
We're going to be probably in the new year.
We're going to nail it.
New year. We're already nailing it. We're conjuring up Nicolas Cage.
By this time,
decided to conjure up Val Kilmer. I mean, who next can we conjure up? Mm-hmm. We'll think about that.
Yes.
Thank you so much for wearing your Geek Pants.
These pancakes are delicious.